I never like to do clickbait titles, so hopefully the title matches exactly what I'm saying because, I don't want to mislead people. So certainly don't go downvoting something just because it's maybe not in the context you're expecting. Now, predominantly this is about some bargains. And not everybody's going to be able to get those bargains in the same way that I did. But it's like sometimes about thinking outside the box. So I've got a few good deals. I'm a little bit like wheeling dealing at the moment. I've got Mario Kart World for the Switch 2 for £40. That's a £60 game, 55 if you go elsewhere, but still I've got it for £40. Now, you might think these savings are minor, but anybody that knows Nintendo games, it adds up fast when you start to get more of them. So those little gains are very important in terms of building up a library. The other one is I got Donkey Kong Bonanza through trade-ins. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to say it now, so don't sort of lead people down the wrong path here. I've got it for trade-ins, and I only had to pay £14 towards it. And again, mileage is going to vary depending on whether anyone has anything to trade in. So yeah, you're not necessarily going to get deals on that one per se, but it's going to be dependent on whether you have things lying around the house that you didn't even realise actually could really help. Because that's what I was like. I had things that I didn't even care about, and it was like, just take it, work out obviously I'm not just giving it away, and then it worked out a deal. So then when I add the price up for just those two games, I got Mario Kart World for £40, and I got Donkey Kong Bonanza for £14. So literally my outlay was £54 for two games where you expect to pay about £120, and I only paid 54. So I felt quite good because effectively I've had a Switch 2 now for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I think I've had it about 3 weeks now, and I've only really had demos for the Switch 2 games, which has been good, and original Switch games. So I've never really had an experience where I can just truly enjoy the next generation of it. Just little minor upgrades, if you like. So anyway, so that's what I've got. But there's a few other little things I might talk about as I ramble on. We will get there. I am incredibly tired, so that's what I'm saying. If I deviate, it's because I've literally had 3 hours sleep earlier, and then I was so tired I had to have another nap later because I was just going to pass out. My mind was going to explode. So, like I said, a bit of wheeling dealing. So I've done some sales, and that's what kept me up all late. I was up to about 4 a.m. just wiping an iPhone, literally, to reset so it can be shipped off, and a couple of other items. But you have to be diligent. You have to make sure you get the data you need, so passwords and things, but then also, prepare it so you know for sure it's okay to send. That had me absolutely in a mess because it was so late. Then I was supposed to have to get something collected, one of the items collected, because I sold a couple of other, like something else actually sold later that day. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a bulky item. So I had to set an alarm, even though I went to bed at like 4, half 4, 5. I can't remember what time I went to sleep. And I woke up at 8. And I was like, oh, I need to get to the delivery centre. I need to get this in fast. It was open a little bit longer on a Saturday, but you know full well the queues can be big. And I like to get there in the morning when people are just asleep, where I should be asleep. But I don't like queues, so if it means being mental, I will go mental. And literally, someone had just left the building as I was approaching. There was literally no queue. Oh, that's win-win for me, even though I'm delirious. So yeah. So anyway, so I've sent a couple of parcels, and then I had to collect some of the items that couldn't be traded at the place because I got a phone call later, and then it was a case of spend the money. So I sold an Xbox 360. So it's the slim model that's got touch panel on the front, but I bought it a few months ago, maybe 5 months ago. I can't remember exactly when I bought it, and I thought I'd want it for nostalgic reasons, but it's dated. Like the games that are on there, I've really enhanced nowadays on newer versions of them, or on PC they're always sharper. So there was rarely a game worth my attention. And the controllers I don't like nowadays. They're too slow. The original Xbox 360. So it's just been sat there, and I'm like, that's never going to be bothered with because I don't enjoy using it. So I thought, you know what? Let's just trade and see what I get, and then I can put it towards other things. And now some of the items got rejected, which I didn't quite agree with, but I'm not really to argue. I just whatever. So what's the price? And I got for the console and just one game, £44, and I thought that's fair. I don't care. It's just sitting around. It's about what I paid anyway. Literally, I got that at a good deal. So like I said, I got that, and then I was thinking about getting Donkey Kong Bonanza on like Amazon. Now we know that's brand new; it'd be sealed. You get it from these other places. It's trade-ins, but they look after them and things. You can always return it if there's an issue. So it's a bit annoying paying maybe slightly more than what like Amazon are selling it right now. If we get the screen up, have I not got the screen up yet? Wait a minute. Right, so as you can see, Amazon are selling it for £56.95. I paid £58, as you can see here. £58. Cartridge isn't in there, it's in the Switch. But yeah. Now, that causes a little bit of a conundrum myself because, to be honest, I wasn't sure if I want digital or physical on the Switch too. Because to be honest, I don't. I'm a bit lazy with games. I just want to press the button. I don't want to get up and mess about, especially with the fiddly little cartridges. So anyway, I saw this opportunity. I'm thinking £14 because obviously I can get anything in there. It doesn't have to be a Switch 2 game. But I thought, to be honest, they are prohibitively expensive, these Switch games, aren't they? And you just think I don't enjoy paying that much for a game personally. And if I do, there's all the other platforms. You know, like I've got a PS5, I've got PC, so it makes it a bit of an issue. Like if you've got that amount of money, what one do you buy? You know, so let's make it affordable. So let's get on with how we've managed to get these at this price. Because like I said, I don't do clickbait shit. It's just I thought I'd discuss my hectic day, to be totally honest. So there's Mario Kart World, £55 on Amazon. So like I say, if we're going to just whittle it down by based on their prices, £110 then, but I still paid 54. So overall, so £110, still 54 is better, isn't it? But of course, retail prices are higher. It says it was £66 retail, and then 60 whatever on that one. Where was we going? Well, I was doing a couple other ones, but we're going to skip along a little bit. So if you go on what was formerly called CD keys, I have a lot of games here from Steam, from PC gaming, and you can buy all sorts. You can buy that. You can buy top-up cards for your Nintendo Online and get them cheaper. But I've had a lot of games from here. Of course, it was always that day, that very first time you use a service, is it legit? So I think I bought something relatively cheap to test it out a long time ago. And I've used them a lot. They're not the only place I buy games from. Sometimes I buy it from the legitimate store like Steam directly. So effectively, what a lot of these places do is to get the games, some of them, they get like physical cartridge, they get physical ones, and then there's like a code in the game, and they get it from maybe a country that has lower taxes or the currency's lower. So they just buy them in bulk to get the codes, and that's why they say global, EU, like worldwide, Europe, or UK only. It's because it depends where they've sourced the code from. That's literally all it is. So of course, if you don't feel confident with it, obviously just avoid it. But you're going to save some money doing it this way. And I've never had a problem on any platform personally. So if you look over here, we've got Mario Kart World, £39.99. So if we click Mario Kart World, it says switch to EU. So of course that's the EU. US, I don't know what it's going to cost. Even the US has a massive discount. It's obviously in UK pricing, but it's still like £20 off. So I don't know what that would be in dollars. You'd have to obviously get. You've got a currency here. I don't really want to. I don't know how easy it'd be to switch back. It might have a problem on the website. Let's keep it to UK pricing, shall we? So of course I would need the EU one because in Europe. Obviously, if it had a UK one and it was cheaper, I'd go with that because it says it here anyway. Europe and UK. So that's £40, and I'm like, well, that's good because I didn't get the Switch 2 bundle with the game, which was only £30 more. And so effectively, compared to the people who bought it bundled with the game, I've only paid an extra £10. So I've lost to them, but very marginal. Very marginal. But compared to people that buying it outright, other sources, it's cost them a lot of money. So I went and bought that £40. But yes, that's worth having because even if I don't like it as much as Mario Kart 8, I think it's 8, or is it 7? Is it 8? What one is it? Oh, it doesn't really matter. I've been playing it for ages. It's just because you get a new one, you lose track. You're 8. Yeah, because I like that one. I don't really care if I like it as much. I'm liking it a bit, but I'm not like. I think personally, in the long term, I'm always going to prefer 8. Just it's more direct, it's easier. But I think having both's great. I like karting games. I'll be playing it a lot. Just reminds you of childhood. So you've got that. Then we have different options with Donkey Kong. You can get it here for £55.69 digital. But personally, off the store, it is that on a Switch too. I would just buy it off the Switch. Me personally, I would just buy it directly from Nintendo because I can't be bothered. If it's just going to be like by something so marginal, what's the point? Of course, you could get it through here. It's the same. It's similar pricing. So you either get a digital or you get a physical. Depends what you want to do. You know, it's really going to be down to the person, isn't it? But how did I get it for cheaper then? So I took my Xbox 360 console to my local CX. You can either just take it in, they'll give you a value after they've assessed it, or you can just book it online and just drop it off. You don't even wait around, and they'll get back to you when they've done an assessment and things. And then if the grading isn't quite what you said it is, then they will phone you to discuss it. And that's what I did. I just dropped it off. And I've never had an issue with them at all with things. You know, you can decline it, of course, but once before you accept. But yeah, I was of the notion I don't need it as long as I'm not getting lowballed too much. I thought 44. I was debating it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to use it. Just do it, and I'll get something I'll use rather than me paying so much for a game, because that's the alternative, isn't it? So yeah, so I sold that, got the £44. That's what you come to, and then I just picked this up for 58, and it cost me £14. But like I say, if you're buying it brand new, it's cheaper to buy Amazon. But the reason these are slightly dearer sometimes in those places is when they do the trade-in, they'll offer you, let's say it's £44 for let's say they offered me £44 for my Xbox 360 in a game. If I'd said cash, it'd probably be about £30. So in your head, it's like, yeah, I could have a brand new copy of Thingy, which is no different ultimately once you've opened it. But now I've got to put 20, whatever the hell it is, 26, 28. I've got to put to it instead of 14. You might as well just do the trade in and then pay their price, even though it's slightly more. If you used to walk in the shop, it makes sense overall with the voucher system. But anyway, ultimately, I've done massive savings there, haven't I? I want to show a little bit of the Switch library in a moment, what I have. I don't have all the big bells and whistles. I have some great games. There's still room to grow it. But I just wanted to I want to show people that the Switch games are not as barren as people make it out. Some people act like there's nothing to play. It's like, well, it depends how often you play it. If you just like grinded the crap out of everything, of course there's nothing to play. Like any system. But there's plenty, and there's still games for me to collect. So of course, if you don't want to sell on CX or you don't get the price you want, you're free to list things on eBay. I just think if you sell things on places like eBay, be as professional as you can. This is a business. You know, your reputation matters and all those things. So I just think take it serious and be respectful of people, really. Don't make people wait around too long to receive an item. Pack it as best you can. Communicate where you can. I don't communicate all the time as much as I used to. I used to give people updates. As soon as I've packaged it, I send them photos and things. Now I'm thinking the tracking system is telling them that it's been dispatched anyway. It's just the whole process. Otherwise, it's just, I'm not going to be doing that. Unless they've got a question, of course. But and be diligent, you know. So like, I take photos of absolutely everything, and I make sure I cover my bases. And eBay recently have done this called Simple Delivery. So effectively, if you use the service as they give you it, and there's an issue, then you're covered. Because I was worried. I sold an iPhone 14 Pro. It was someone with zero feedback, and I was really nervous. I thought, I don't know if that's a dodgy seller. But because I've been really good with sales in the past, they don't hold my payments. Whereas I know some users, they will hold payments until they receive feedback and all that, and I don't trust that system. It's dangerous. With me, they give me the money within a few hours. It's crazy. So that's good. So I was already holding the money. It was already in my bank account before I even sent the iPhone. I held the iPhone for an extra day or two just to make sure. And then when something else sold, I just sent them together. But they only bought it like, let's say it's Thursday evening or something. They bought it, and then I sent it first thing Saturday morning. So it's perfectly fine. It wasn't like they waited long, because you couldn't have done it on the Thursday because they bought it too late, and you had to do some deletions. So Friday was the earliest, and I think waiting one extra day wasn't a killer, you know. But that's why I was up so late, because I didn't want to make them wait any longer. But I think just take it serious, you know. But you will perhaps be waiting longer to sell something. So if you go CX, you can get rid of it now. You can potentially walk out with the game if it's in stock. Otherwise, you can try and sell it everywhere else, but it might take you a longer time. And is it worth the wait? Only we know. You can use it online. So like the code, you'll get a voucher. You can use it in store, online. Online, there's delivery fees. So unless you're collecting it from your local store, then it's free, but you'd have to collect it, of course, or a store. But again, you'd have to go wherever that is. Yeah, or you use it in store. But that's just a nice way to get those things. Now, we're going to sidetrack it in a minute. I'd rather sidetrack now while I'm thinking of it, then we go through the Switch, because I just want to show some of the games, really. I've done a few great deals on phones and my case. It's just little things for my phone. So, just trying to think. This is a new case I literally got today for my iPhone 17 Pro. Look at this. Look at the front. That is mental, isn't it? Wait, is it on? Right, now it's on. Wait a minute. Let me log in. Oh, okay, you can see through it, but you can't see through an angle if you look. It's a screen privacy thing. Now, it says £10. I got it with a voucher. There's a voucher code when I bought it, and it said I think it was like £7.99. So I got this case for £8. It's strong enough to protect my phone. It's got the perfect circles for the things. And it come with two like privacy screen protectors. And I'm thinking, for the sake of £8, that's freaking ridiculous, because screen protectors would cost you that anyway. And you got a case. Now, there's limitations with this case. I'm just going to talk about it. Is the fact that it has got the indentation for this camera control, which I like. But when I look there, it's very flush. So if the phone was to drop this way and land on the floor, the screen is going to touch the floor, because this isn't protruding out enough to stop the screen, which worries me a little bit. But when I think user control, it doesn't feel bulky in my way. There's no ridge to affect the control. So it's pick your battles. Looking at it here, it looks like the cameras are flush as well. So if it was to hit the ground that way, the cameras are still going to hit potentially. Actually, no. I don't think the cameras would, because this ridge here, it seems to be further out than the rest of them. So these, although they're flat there, this bit I think protects them. That's actually useful. But like I said, it's got the screen protectors as well, and you get two of them. And I'm really impressed. So yeah, so far I'm happy. It's black. So I have noticed if you buy cases and they're black, they're cheaper. It's just what it is. But again, I was using it without the case, and there was a couple of problems without the case. So if you think about having an iPhone without the case, it's really a choice, obviously. But one is, it was very slippery. This is a little bit slippery, but it's not as slippery as without. It was crazy without a case. The other thing is, because the new iPhones are literally they're bezel-less, so the screen actually goes closer to the edge of the phone than the previous generations, and that is frustrating, because your fingers naturally kept touch the screen. So you start opening cameras up, you start changing freaking, like if you're on a web browser, it starts opening more windows, it starts clicking on shit. Now, obviously not all the time, but the risk's there and it happens. By having this, your fingers are just a little bit further away where you're not. And again, I think if you had a case that protrudes up a bit more, you'd have a little bit more protection from it even more. I'm thinking of changing cases often. I'm thinking of having a range of cases this generation. I've always just have one and keep it, and it gets boring. So I might have different cases with different colours this year. Because why not? They're not that. It depends where you bought ones, what models, what version of cases you're buying, But yeah, I know. I just thought I'd show that. Literally a bargain, £8, and it comes with two freaking screens. I've never had an anti-privacy one like the privacy ones, and I thought it would be too dim. And as soon as I put it on, I thought that just looks just like it normally does. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yep, like that. So anyway, again, if you make savings in all these different places, it helps you have money for the rest. So I haven't had to buy a case and a screen protector, and the money saved from doing that buys me the rest of the payment towards Donkey Kong. It's just savings. There's always something to gain. This is one of the better deals I got. This is a case for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it came with two thumb grips for the Switch 2, which I thought was cool, and it also came with screen protector. I can't remember if it came with two screen protectors or one. But either way, that cost me £10. So that's this one. Literally, it cost me the same price, the £10. There you go. It says it. Got screen protectors on there. Oh, two screen protectors. It comes with these little game card things. I had to cut the bottom one off. Literally with a pair of scissors. I just went across the bottom there and cut it off. So I've only got the one for the Switch to fit in, because I've got a grip on the back of it. That's what it is. Because mine's got a grip, and it still fits perfect now. And I didn't need that many cartridge holders anyway. Yeah, and it's got all this. It's a really cool case. And again, you start buying screen protectors, you add in so much price to it. They all come in with. So anyway, I thought I'd just discuss that there. We've just seen you can get Mario Kart for £20 off CD keys, which is now called Loaded. If you use things like Klarna or Zilch in the UK and things, you can spread payments across anyway, so you can get it like cheaper now and pay on bits and all sorts of stuff if you can get finance like that and you want to do it that way. And of course, then we can sell things to help mitigate overall costs. So that's pretty cool. So like I said, I've been doing a bit of wheeling and dealing here. I've been doing a bit of sales there. There was another piece that I haven't discussed here. I've done another video. Whether I've posted it, I don't know, because I was holding on to it because I think I posted too many videos. But I sold my steering wheel. So I got a racing wheel, and it was an Xbox PC variant. And there's the same model with slightly different colour, and it's a PlayStation PC variant. And I wanted it for Gran Turismo 7 in VR. So I was like, you can't just swap wheels. You're going to have to sell one and then buy the other one, And that one sold as well. So that was a nice thing. Hence why I had the bulky item to sell. at short notice and up at night pissing about packaging all this crap, and doing all postage things and sorts of things coming up. I was in admin mode. I'm in seller crisis. Yeah. Anyway, let's just get on. So let's get rid of this, and what is this one? Right. I'm not sure why that's not coming on. Okay, oh, what game is it loading? Donkey Kong. Right, I'm not sure if I've got the focus on right. So if it looks blurry, it's because I can't tell my little screen whether I've got the focus right, because otherwise cameras are naturally, I don't know if you've seen it, where 1 minute they're focusing and they go boom, and then it changes focus constantly. It drives me nuts. So I've manually tried my best. It's dark because of the lighting I've got here and the fact that it overblooms it otherwise. You lose all the colour and it just goes mental bright. So that's that. Oh, crap. See, if I touch this camera as well, it's very, very susceptible to just crashing. I'll be so careful right now. So what I just wanted to showcase was the Switch 2. Like you can see here, I've got... I'm not going to close it, actually. Wait a minute. Controller's gone off. So effectively, I'm connecting an Xbox Series X controller. I could do a whole video on that as well. I think I have done in the past. I've got a dongle on top, and it literally connects to this. And it treats this like a Pro controller. So the Nintendo Pro controller that's £75, the dongle costs £20, and I already had controllers lying around the house. So £75 for a Pro controller or a Series X controller for 20 quid dongle. It's a no-brainer. So it's pretty cool, isn't it? So literally, it's nice. So this is just showing some of the games I've recently either played or installed. And as you can see, we've got Donkey Kong Bonanza, and then we've also got Mario Kart World. I just want to show how I've done folders, 'cause it's quite cool. So this is a bit of a mess, and it's the way Nintendo always had the listings, based on when you bought it, or like the game when you downloaded it, and all sorts of shit, or when you last played it. Absolutely mess. You can filter it, but it always resets. But we've got group tabs, and I made these groups. So it helps me sort things into easily manageable things. So if I think I specifically want to play a racing game, I'll go racing. If I think I want a Nintendo exclusive, what have I got Nintendo exclusive? So I've done a currently playing folder, which is a bit of a mishmash. So it's messed with a little bit of indie there. We've got a bit of Nintendo, all sorts of stuff. But if we go over to Nintendo specifically, what have I got? Right, we've got 2 Mario Kart games. That's pretty cool, isn't it? This generation. We've got the previous one, which looks just as good as the old new one. We've got Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is just like Mario Odyssey. It's a big 3D, massive game. So these are huge games. Then we got Mario Brothers U Deluxe. We got Rabbids Kingdom, so that's more like a turn-based thing. Then we got Mario Maker. I can't really see properly with this smaller screen where I'm recording. I could just look at the real one. Yeah, Legend of Zelda, Link Awakening, all sorts of stuff. But like I said, there's still games I haven't got. But I would say, based on what I have got, that's still plenty of fun, exclusive-wise. 2 Mario Karts, that's awesome. Lego games, I have them on other platforms as well, but I do prefer playing them on a Switch, personally, Switch 2. Just for this, because you can portable play it on the screen. It's so versatile. There's a Harry Potter collection there. Then we've got all sorts, And again, so a couple more to collect there if I choose to. If we go racing, that could be karting, it could be all sorts of racing. We've either got Sonic Team Racing to go with the Mario Kart ones, actual racing games, some arcadey type ones, some futuristic type games. Dungeon crawlers, I really like playing Hades, which is why it's in my current playing list. And these just to help open up the console, really. Side scroller, now we've got some Sonics, which work obviously in the Nintendo folder, but they're still big games. And again, I've still got games to collect. Oh crap, I've said the wrong button. I'm so backwards on Nintendo. These are AAA games that you would find on other consoles too. So these like not necessarily, these are ones you wouldn't typically find on a Nintendo system, but yet they are. So all of a sudden, you've got access to some substantial games if you decide you want to do that. Then some silly games or stuff I can't really categorize. Indie, which are nice for casual thingy. Demos, I've got to update this. I've got some more demos now. Ungroup, TV. So games I think specifically be fun on telly. Still got to update that. And then you think Switch 2 only games. Like these were literally made for the Switch 2. And there's obviously going to be others there. But in terms of the games, I've only got Donkey Kong, Mario Kart World. And then later in the year, I think December, we've got Metroid as well. It's a first-person shooter. Also got Mario Galaxy, which I never played on the Wii. I think it's on the Wii. So that opens them up that I'm excited to play as well. So I'll hopefully be able to get them at some point. I say hopefully because I've got other consoles. I've got PC, I've got PC, I've got PS5, and I've got the VR on the PS5. So there's obviously different games to get, different price variants. Can't just buy only whatever's on this. So I can't always get a day one. I rarely do. Just trying to think what I was doing there. Wait a minute. I was having a look at the shop because one thing I want people to see is everyone talks about the fact that Switches are expensive, the games are expensive, blah blah blah. We'll keep the game running for now if it keeps it awake. They've updated the screen, the shop on the Switch 2. It's faster. On the Switch 1, it was a nightmare. It just every time it stuttered. So this is interesting. On the cartridge side, I think it's about £40 on Amazon. It ain't out yet. It's pre-order, I think, November for the cartridge. I think it's about £40. Hades 2. Reviews are going mental saying it's great, and that's on PC and this. But it's only £25. It's not a lot of money. That upgrade pack is if you've got the Switch variant and you can upgrade it for free, which I think is a nice little touch. But overall, other people, it's going to cost £25. Again, my camera's probably not doing it justice. I'm interested, but I haven't even finished the first one. Then you look at Mario Galaxy. I think they look cool. It's £60 just like every other game, pretty much. But because it's a remake or just a rehash, I'm not even sure it's a remake at this point. It might just be a complete copy over. You can buy them separately if you want to. So let's say you've got a favourite one or you only want to buy one at a time. You can do that. But it says there, purchased individually would cost £67.90 something over instead. So you pay an extra tenner overall. But if you don't want to invest too much straight away, you can do one and then the other, can't you? Because you're not going to plan both together anyway. So maybe to make it a bit easier to buy, you just buy one of them first, you know? I haven't decided how I'll acquire them yet, but that's pretty cool. That comes out soon. So this is just really highlighting the games that are coming out. Like this has just come out, but it's only the Switch version. So Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, that's the Switch version, not Switch 2. I played it. It was blurry as shit. I didn't like it at all. And then I thought it was for the Switch 2. I thought that is terribly optimized. Didn't realize Switch 2, I think, is coming out next year or something stupid. They're delayed like crazy for that. So, but you would be able to upgrade it, I assume. Hollow Knight, Silk Soul. This is really popular at the moment. It got me going back to the original Hollow Knight because I never finished it, never got into it that far. I'm enjoying that one, but I'm not going to jump into this one until I've done that one. But yeah, these are like fine games, you know. And of course, things are going to trickle on as time goes by, and everybody have their own personal favourites. So we've got this here, £16.99. If you go to CD Keys, where I pointed to before, they're doing it for £13 something. Again, saving here, saving there. Money towards something else, isn't it? Mario Kart World, how much is that normally? £66.99, and I got it for £40. So I've done well there. And it should come up that I own it. Yeah, that's why you can't buy it. Look, it's just to open the card because you own it already. But one thing I would say there is the game cartridges are quite big. Like to buy them digital. So for instance, Mario Kart World's taking about 20 gigabyte on my storage. But when I put the cartridge for this in, Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's only using 400 megabyte on my storage. And I was like, what? So the cartridges will save you a lot of storage. 20 gigabyte for the digital Mario Kart World, 400 megabyte, like not even 1 gig for this. Because it was an update you had to do. That was it. It's pretty mental, isn't it? So it might be worth going cartridge to save storage. And then we've got some big games like Star Wars Outlaws that you wouldn't even think would run on this system. Then we've got like Mario Wonder. And again, these sort of games are cheap on eBay at the moment. They're about £25 on eBay. So you can start acquiring some of the Switch games, the original ones. Give yourself a library. We've got variants of that. But what I wanted to point out here is you've got offers, and there's some great deals for the offers. Like ridiculous. That's a Switch 2 game. It's about £34. It's only £17.50 now. For now. Got a Lego Star Wars, £12. Some of the games would be like £5. But if you go on them and then click the heart, so I've already done it. Let's do a game, like for instance, I've already done the heart on it, like add to my wish list, right? And what'll happen is you go on wish list here, and then you can click this little button up the top, and it'll go only to show me the ones on sale. So that way, you can always know the ones you're definitely interested in and whatever's on sale at the moment. And I think that's just great instead of having to filter through everything. What have I already said I like? And let's have a look at some of the pricing. This Puzzle Bobble should never be that price at all. I just put it on there just in case it one day drops to a reasonable price. Sifu I was playing recently on another device, and I'm enjoying that. Ori, I've already got one of them on the device. I thought £6 is cheap. And it tells you how long as well before it runs out. So that's 2 days, I think. It's not long at all. Some of the others will be on sale longer. Then obviously new ones have come out on sale. But like I say, if you look at the price in there, they're not particularly mental, are they? They're quite good deals. It's just that obviously all the prices mount. If you go and buy every single one, you could have just bought one, like maybe a bigger brand new release. So you've got to weigh things up. That's a bit mental. But I'd say that watch out for that. I've seen that for like £2 something sometimes. So that it's always worth monitoring things for a period of time, or go on a website. There's a database website that tells you the historical prices. You get to see how often is it on sale, but also what's the lowest it's ever been, and all those sort of things. That's always worth doing. But some of these come with demos as well, so that's always fun. But okay, so you don't just go there. Of course, we go over here and then we start filtering. We start looking through them because there might be something I haven't even seen yet. But yeah, it's going to be obviously this is where you're going to get a huge savings. But compare this to then go on CD keys where you can get other games. So you might find that games are on sale there cheaper and it's worth grabbing it, you know. But like I say, the suggestion is that games are incredibly expensive. If you buy everything, if you wait for sales, most of my games are from sales. So if you wait, you can get them at a discount. Even first-party games like Mario 3D World, I think that's been like £33 and things, and normally it's 50 odd. So they do drop. I wouldn't expect the Switch 2 variants to drop anytime soon, no, personally, but you never know. But yeah, there was some of the, I think there was better. There's still good games here, by the way. But there were better ones recently. They just the sale just recently ended. I think it's 26th, 14th. I can't remember the date now. Was it 19th? I can't remember, but one of the days. A lot of them finished. The new ones come on, and it's always like a revolving door. But over here, I don't know how good the Monster Hunter series is, but it's a demo anyway. But you've got that one, Monster Hunter Rise. I think it might be the weaker one in the series. For all I know, I don't know. But it's supposed to be £35. It's £8.74. There is a demo, so you can jump in and test it out anyway. But yeah, you see how fast it is as well. It's so cool. And then you've got a chart to see what's selling. It's Nintendo Switch 2 chart, and then there's a Nintendo Switch chart as well. So of course you'd expect either the big hitters or the ones heavily on sale. So if it's discounted, of course it's going to be cheaper. I mean, it's going to be on higher in the ranking. But this one's cheap, very cheap at the minute. Hogwarts Legacy Switch Edition. I have heard that apparently if you own a Switch Edition, they do the upgrade for £10, but I'm not seeing it. So I think it's a risky purchase because the Switch 2 version's 40 odd pounds at the moment on sale, or often goes to. So that's £30 more. But I would not suggest on a Switch 2 getting the original Hogwarts Legacy Edition because the textures are terrible and you're going to have loading screens every time you move, pretty much. Whereas the newer one is more fluid, open world, better textures. It'll be a better experience. It's worth the upgrade price. You just don't want to go to that really god-awful version. But it is Metroid. Oh, no, that's Metroid Prime Switcher version. I don't think they've got upcoming, have they? Oh, yeah, coming soon. Whether it's on there or not, I don't know. Oh, too far. Maybe it's too far into the future. Highlights. Maybe it'll be there. Just trying to see if I can find Metroid just quick. Online games. Coming soon. There it is. So another one I'm interested in. I thought it was going to be dear because I've seen it on Amazon for £79.99, 80 quid. I think I'm not paying £80 in fact when that releases. You've got to be absolutely crazy to think that's normal. Then I come on here and it's £58.99 and you're thinking, well, I'm thinking, well, that's like the upper limit of what I would even think is fair, but I still think that's too expensive. So I'm not sure. I'd have to wait for reviews to come into that as to whether I definitely get it, especially early on. You know, there's other games to play around that period. It'd be nice to have more games on the device, but they are pricey. So I think it's about making sure you definitely like something before committing to getting it. That's what I think. That I'm interested in. I'm interested in Galaxy World. I think the tennis one would be pretty cool, but these are games that are adding up fast, aren't they? So you've got to be a bit mindful, I guess. But my attitude is you can't play everything at once anyway. So if I actually go for that and I think, oh, I could do with that, but do you need it right now? No. Well, it's fine then, because I've still got to enjoy Mario Kart World. I've still got to enjoy Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I've still got a host of Switch games to play through. So like I say, I'm more than happy with my games, you know. I know it's been a bit of a mishmash, really. I just didn't want to miss anything really. If there's deals to be had or something someone might be interested in, because I've got a few good deals there, and I've sold some things that's really helped me out and gave me substantial options. But even in a situation where I could have just bought the games at full price if I chose to, didn't sit right with me. I think they're too expensive. Personally, I think spending over £100 on 2 games is a bit, to me, is insane. Like, I can't justify that for any game. But like, I can't even think of a game I would. I like games, but it's just mental. So a lot of time on most consoles, the games drop in price over time. With Nintendo, they don't drop substantially, and especially the latest generation. So we're gonna have to find ways to go around that. And me personally, it's gonna be places like CD keys. Now I don't get anything out promoting them. It's just that's where I go. But I personally think Switch 2 wise, Mario Kart World is an exception to the rule because it come bundled with a lot of Switch 2 consoles. So that's why I think they've taken the codes from those consoles and they're reselling them at the £40. I have no problem with that. Do what you want, So, for instance, if there's future bundles of the Switch and it comes with a game, let's say there's a Metroid bundle, all of a sudden we might start finding keys for the Metroid game for a similar price to Mario Kart. So instead of £58.99, maybe I can get it for £40, maybe 45, even 50. I mean, at this point, a £10 saving here and there is going to be useful. So it's going to be worth just checking these things out, because why pay more for when you can get it for less? It's like, again, I don't get anything for this, by the way. I just like to help. So if we go over to the Switch 2, you can see they also do the online packs, and they get quite expensive when you do it directly through Nintendo, the device. But you can buy them here, and you just get everything, and it's cheaper. So you think, okay, I can pay that if I want the service. So like with this, you get access to the emulation side of the games, which is pretty cool, different console things. They also do like free trials every now and again. I don't know when that happens. But also, like some of them include DLC packs. So if you're playing Mario Kart 8, you get the extra circuits and things, which doubles the track limit. It's loads of tracks, or you can buy them separately. But if you've got the membership for the year, you've got access to it anyway. So it kind of pays for itself with that game specifically. But I think the more they add packs to other games, it makes it more worthwhile. So if they add the new Donkey Kong DLC to it, then you would argue that's good too. I think that if they haven't done it, they should have done that. Personally, I think, because otherwise, if it's not always if you can't like trust it to cover things like that, then what's the point? Yeah, I'm happy with my purchases at the moment. I've literally brought life into my Switch 2. And I've got the games I want to be playing. So like I say, this is what I'm currently playing on it, and it's like I've been testing Fortnite out. It runs absolutely brilliant. Let's get rid of that. It takes up a lot of storage, Fortnite. I don't know if I've got the focus right. So if it's blurry, you have to just bear with it. I think it might be slightly blurry. I can't do much with this camera. It's crap. But yeah, that's quite a big download, the Fortnite one. I think that was 40 gigabyte or something crazy. But I think it's a worthwhile game to have because it's free anyway. Hades, Moonlight. Some of these games were so cheap, it's ridiculous. Moonlight only cost me maybe £3.50, and that was the full complete edition as well. That was crazy. Then we got Death's Door. Then we got Hades. Hades cost me about £5.50, £5.80. I can't something £5 something. It's cheap as hell. Normally 25 quid. And this little game here is a bit like Nintendogs. So on the old Nintendo DS, and I think it was 3DS as well. I'm not sure about 3DS. Yeah, Nintendogs. I don't know why they never brought it back, continued with that. I found it quite interesting. This Little Friends, Dogs and Cats is the equivalent of that. Maybe slightly watered down version, but either way, it's a little bit of fun for every now and again. That literally cost me £1 something on sale. That's just nuts. That is absolutely crazy. So that's what I do. I look for deals. I see a deal, even if I'm not going to play it yet. If I think a deal's good enough and it's something I want, that's when I get it. Because deals aren't always there. You can either say, no, I'm only going to buy games as and when I play them, which is fair, but you will miss out on deals along the way, or you grab them when they're cheap. And then when you finally decide you want to sit down and play something else, or you're looking at that, it's like, oh, I already have that. It's great. And I've got more because I bought them at such a discounted rate, So I would always say keep your eye on the store page as well, because if you don't check the Nintendo store, you're really going to miss out on some incredible deals, like literally. There is a game my daughter loves. They don't sell it anymore, at least from my understanding. Lucky I got it. If we can find it. Their controls are so backwards. And that's Crayola Scoot. If I click it, it might take me to the options to store. Nintendo eShop. I bet they don't sell it anymore. I got that for, I think that cost me like £5. It was a 20-something pound game. Software currently unavailable. And yeah, I haven't even tried launching it, actually. You should launch. Oh, existing data was found. Download it. Yeah. It's downloading the save data for. That's the other thing with the Nintendo Online. It does cloud saves. So, you know, you stop playing the Switch for a long time, come back to it, and you can pick up your saves. I think that's really, really good. And like I say, you can't buy this game now. You'd have to get the cartridge, which would probably be expensive, I'd assume, used. So it's lucky I bought it when I did. You don't know these things that go unavailable one day. So again, I think that's valid. That's a reason enough to get things as well when you're interested, because you can't guarantee it will forever be available to buy, but you'll always have access to it because it's in your library. Don't know why they stopped selling it. It might be worth looking into that. Oh, but we're doing this. Crap. Can I go back? Oh wait, my controller's off. I want to use this. I just thought, wait, because it's out of habit I do that. Wait a minute. Oh, crap. How am I going to change the controller? Change grip. We want search for controllers. So is that? I don't know how you change it in game. There you are. Yay, it's working now. So just do continue. Yeah, I know it's gone off topic, but if you got this far and you're interested, you keep watching. If you don't, won't. But yeah, this is the game that's now no longer available. But if you own it, you can download it whenever you want. It's a bit like Splatoon with sort of a skateboard thingy, skateboard scooter thing. Yeah. It looks like there's another area to do. Or is that what that is? That's to take a different area. I don't really play this. My daughter does. Or at least she did. She used to love this game. I'm sure she'd still play it if she was home with me more often. Look, but you literally just paint the skate rank and stuff and do skills and shit. I don't really understand. I don't know the skills too much, to be totally honest. Oh, there's someone there now. I don't know if I'm playing with someone or if it's just an enemy. There's someone orange ink, look. So it's a bit like Splatoon. There's Splatoon, you're shooting people. On this one, we're just painting with a scooter. But I think it's a bit sad that other people can't buy it as easily now. Like, who saw that coming? Not me. Anyway, let's leave it there. You can see there's plenty of games to play and it's quite fun.